China is the king of manufacturing. Their appeal started out with cheap labor, but has evolved because they provide businesses with efficient processes, advanced technologies, and the best client relationship management programs. No wonder it's close to impossible to dethrone them. But a 100,000 square foot factory in Portland, Tennessee did just that. How? Renewable energy. SunPower Corporation, owned by Shoals Technologies, is an American company specializing in solar power generation and energy storage. They manufacture everything you need to feed power on the grid. They craft cable assemblies, combiner boxes, external fuses, and others. That's exactly the kind of products you would have thought went to China many years ago. Most of SunPower's competitors are Chinese companies like GSL System Integration and Wuxi Sun King. The Chinese-made components are cheaper than Shoals, but owner Dean Solon says he has an edge. His stuff is seen as safer, more reliable, and easier to install. They have a plug-and-play hardware that eliminates the need for a crew of expensive electricians out in the field stripping wires and crimping millions of connections by hand. That means companies are willing to pay 5, almost 10% more for it, because they believe they'll make up for it in lower labor and maintenance costs. Last year, that premium added up the earnings of $34 million to all the way up to $176 million in sales. After a January IPO, the 57-year-old Solon is worth almost $2.2 billion, thanks to his 40% stake in the company and after-tax proceeds from prior equity sales. To keep manufacturing costs low, Solon makes the manufacturing process as foolproof as he can. Here are some things they put in place. Screens mounted on the front of each machine show workers how to do each task. Cycle times measured not in man hours, but man seconds. There are lights in each station and it blinks when they fall behind schedule. Teams help one another sort out problems because if one person slows down for too long, the next in line runs out of parts. Solon has been inspired by Disneyland and Disney parks. Disney parks are orchestrated to perfection. On the surface, everything seems calm and happy and serene, but underneath there's hundreds of people making sure that everything and the magic and everything is happening and working perfectly. I always believe that the next economic battle will happen in the energy sector, and SunPower's business model and manufacturing process is an important case study for America. It will give America complete control over the renewable energy sector. Beyond the business processes, there's also an advantage in the raw materials that go into making these technologies. Those raw materials are precious metals, and one of the leading producers of gold and silver. But even if we stop exporting all the precious metals we produce, it still won't be enough to supply the world's energy requirements. In fact, even if we pool the whole world's precious metals annual production, it won't be enough to supply the world's energy requirements. No wonder we're starting to think about mining asteroids and the seabed. I don't know how fast technologies will be developed to make this a possibility, but we do know that we don't have enough precious metals and we need quite a lot of them. And if there's anything that made investors billionaires, it's the ability to see the future and bet on it. So if you're betting on something, bet on precious metals. If you're interested in investing in precious metals and you want to talk to a no-hassle representative that has experience in physical metal, give us a call. Phone number is 877-646-5347. Our phone lines are always open and we're happy to answer any of your questions.